This November 5th, a critical school board election is occurring in Alleghany County and Covington. And among the candidates is incumbent Jacob Wright, who joins us today for a brief interview. Welcome, Jacob.
Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate you having me.
We've been studying the issues all summer, and as a matter of fact, all this year. And candidate Wright, who's had extensive school board experience, joins us today to talk about several of them. So here we go. Jacob, you are one of the architects, if not one of the creators, of the current Alleghany Highlands Public School Division. And you had the foresight and the vision to make this thing happen, in addition to a number of people who joined you on these complex committees. How's it all turned out?
I think it's been great. It's fallen at a very interesting time. We agreed to do this back during COVID, and as a nation we have bus driver shortages, teacher shortages, just employee shortages in general. And I can't imagine what they would be like if we were still trying to work against one another and run two different school divisions.
Well, you seem to, the board for the most part seems to get along. It's not even achieving consensus has never seemed to be a problem, but for the most part, we see 6-1, 7-0 votes.
Well,
Does that surprise you?
No, because we have a lot of people that are really in it for the benefit of the students. And I think that everyone knows that the students are the future of our community, and they're the future of economic development. They're the future of community pride, and for the overall success. And I think that everyone's kind of on the same page as well, with keeping the kids in our best interest.
Okay, and let's put you on the spot a little bit. What are some of the challenges? I mean, we're in the audience and we see the various issues come up on the school board agenda, but there's things happening in the background. We can euphemistically call those challenges. What are those challenges? How do you see those? We'll deal with the resolution a little bit later, but what do you see the current challenges confronting the school board?
I think attendance with our students, with our staff, but most importantly our students. If our students aren't in school, they can't learn. And that's something that's really been a problem since we've had the coronavirus. Getting students back in school, I think people got used to not being in school. I think people see it in the workplace. I think it's all over our community, all over our country. But attendance is what we really need to work on.
And is that a student problem, or is that a parent problem, or both? We're really putting you on the spot now.
It's both. It's both. But that one thing I think we can do as a school system, it's up to the courts to hold people liable for their truancy and those types of things. As a school system, we need to work on getting kids to come to school. We need kids to want to come to school. We need to offer activities that interest all different kinds of kids. Some kids, they want to come to school because they like to play football. So if they don't come to school, they can't play on Friday nights. But we need to expand those opportunities. That's something I'm going to talk about at our school board meeting on Monday. Expanding extracurricular opportunities, things that, little carrots to get kids to want to come to school. I think it's just really important, and now that we're together and we can expand some of our offerings, it's time to do it.
And isn't this the purview currently of Cindy Fox, at least in part? How's that effort working?
Absolutely. Cindy Fox is a go-getter, and she does great with whatever she does. I've heard parents that don't have a lot of positive things to say about the school system. They praise Cindy Fox. She is the perfect person for that job, and I think anybody in the school system would agree with that. She does a great job, and I'm excited to see what all she can do.
Okay, now's the critical part. We know what happened in the past. We talked about at least one of the many challenges. How about the future? Some of you are serving on statewide committees. The superintendent is. I believe you are. There may be one other. What what does that mean for the future of the school division? What would you like to see happen that is currently either not on the drawing board or, more importantly, should be on the drawing board?
Well, there are a lot of different things. I'm glad to have a seat at the table. I was elected in November of 2023 to serve a 2-year term to the Virginia School Board Association Board of Directors. And as our superintendent would say, it's better to be at the table than on the table. But I represent 17 school districts. It covers all of Roanoke and that area, all the way down to Patrick County in the North Carolina line. It gives us a chance to be at the table. We meet with the state superintendent of education. We meet with the head of the Virginia High School League several times a year. And I don't think anyone has been in that position from our community in 40 years or more.
So you're getting the chance to see other challenges for other school divisions, and so you're able to talk with them, and they're probably saying, hey, how's it going in Alleghany?
Absolutely. Huh? And one of the things I always hear is everybody knows about Alleghany now, and the fact that Covington and Alleghany have combined, and they say, there's some folks from Martinsville and Henry County, and they say, we're sick of hearing how well you all get along down there in Alleghany County and the Alleghany Highlands, and that's so nice to hear, because I remember a time on the school board where I was in a meeting and we were talking about what we were going to do to steal kids back from Covington. You know, we were working against one another, and now everybody seems to be working together, whether it's the city public works coming down to help something at Alleghany High School or the county doing things at Covington High. I mean, it's great to see us all working together. And, you know, it's fun to be at a football game on Friday night and your Covington friends or your Alleghany friends are all there, and everybody's cheering for the same thing, and that's what we need to do as a community. We need to work together.
Isn't it? I mean, that's really, you know, one thing I hadn't mentioned to you before this, but it has been mentioned at a recent school board meeting, is that there's more than 300 kids who could be, I mean, up to, I mean, we're probably talking about almost $2 million to the school board a year. Little more than 300 kids that are saying, it may not be kids, it's parents. So they're homeschooling or some kind of an alternative educational program. Maybe the question isn't what can you do about it, it's how can you turn that around a little bit, or is there a plan that we're not aware of that might re-entice them to join the school division?
Well, I think it's something it's another thing that since COVID, the numbers have really jumped up. I think it's kind of our world in general right now. People are choosing to educate their kids at home, whether it's for religion or just whatever the purpose. But we need to figure out if there are kids that we can bring back to our school system, we need to bring them back. One of the things that we offered several years ago was the opportunity for homeschool students, high school students, to be able to take a class at the high school. We have world-class facilities at our high school at JRTC. You know, we offer kids so many different things that I don't see how you could offer on an individual basis. Our welding program, our automotive, our carpentry, nursing, everybody's just doing amazing things right now, and we need to continue that to keep kids interested. It's the same thing, the kids that aren't coming to school that are supposed to be coming to school, or the homeschool kids, we need to bring them all back to our school. But it's a parent's choice. You know, it's something that they decide to do, and to each his own.
You know, and one final thing, the school division has launched a program of, it's non-traditional, so to speak, where you can learn more about various medical professions, and now it's expanded into, I think legal and other programs. How important do you believe this is for the future?
It's absolutely, it's critical for our community. I think that we are the beginning of all economic development in this area. And if we produce, right now, we're known for our welders. Our welders, if they complete the program at JRTC, they can get a job at Alltech immediately. And they have. Yeah. Tons of them have. We've developed a culture for that. You know, this AHA grant opens up all kinds of possibilities. It's us working together, which is great. But it's kids doing nursing, like you said. There are all these different aspects of it, and building all off of that and creating individualized education plans for kids that so they can go off and they can have a focus. I know we talked about a mortuary science focus, that a kid can graduate from high school and have this focus where they take an anatomy class and they take all these different classes from AHA, and they can have a focus. And if you imagine going out into the working world or going to a college and saying, yeah, I focused in mortuary sciences, or I focused in, there are a lot of different things that we could focus on, and I believe this grant really opens that up, and our school board office is really accepting of the idea of kids focusing on things and going kind of out of their way to help kids that want to focus on different things have a chance.
Okay, final question. Let's put you on the spot. Give the public a great reason to elect Jacob Wright. Why should people elect you to the school board?
Well, when I got on the school board, we were in very tumultuous times. Boiling Springs Elementary and Falling Springs Elementary had just closed. I wanted to leave this school system better than I found it. I feel like right now we have done a lot to get there. I've brought people together. We've developed trust. We've developed bonds. I'm not the perfect person. I never claimed to be. I was the class clown of my class at Alleghany High School. But we have the valedictorian of the class below me that's in the superintendent position. People are in the right positions. I feel like I feel like I care. I wake up every morning wanting the Alleghany Highlands to be a better place, and I want our school system and I want our consolidation to succeed. And I don't think there's anyone that's been more committed in the past 11 years to our school system and making consolidation happen than myself. I would like to complete the job. I would like to see it through. I would like to expand some of the opportunities now that we are working together. I have a seat at the table in Richmond. I was elected to a 2-year term. If I'm not reelected, I'll drop off of that board. I've had the opportunity to serve on several different committees in Richmond. One of them is about school buses and what they're going to require of school buses in the coming years. And, we need to have somebody up here in the mountains that says, hey, our buses can't run on electricity. We need to have things that folks at the table. And that's something that I'm able to offer. And I hope that people will take that into consideration. And I would appreciate anyone's vote.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.